Breaking news is circulating across social media platforms today, and communities in Nigeria's northwest are holding their breath, waiting for confirmation of reports that could change everything for them. The claim making rounds is that Bello Turji, the infamous bandit kingpin who has terrorized Zamfara, Sokoto, and Katsina states, may have been eliminated in what some are calling U.S. airstrikes that allegedly occurred on Christmas Day. If this turns out to be true, it would be monumental news for thousands of families who have lived under the shadow of fear for far too long. Let me be clear from the start. These reports remain unverified as of today, December 26. No official statement has come from the Nigerian military, the defense headquarters, or any U.S. government agency confirming these claims. What we have right now are social media posts, WhatsApp messages flying around, and people sharing the news with a mixture of hope and skepticism. This is the kind of story where everyone wants it to be true, but we must wait for facts before celebrating. For anyone unfamiliar with who Bello Turji is, this man has been at the center of the banditry crisis devastating Nigeria's northwest. His group has been responsible for countless attacks on villages, mass kidnappings for ransom, cattle rustling on an industrial scale, and the displacement of entire communities. Farmers cannot go to their fields. Children cannot attend school safely. Markets have been abandoned. The psychological trauma inflicted on these communities cannot be measured in statistics alone. Turji's name strikes fear into hearts across Zamfara, Sokoto, and Katsina, and his alleged death would represent not just a military victory but an emotional release for victims who have suffered under his reign of terror. The mention of U.S. airstrikes adds an intriguing and controversial layer to this story. Nigeria and the United States have security partnerships, particularly in intelligence sharing and training support, especially in the fight against Boko Haram in the northeast. However, direct kinetic action in the form of airstrikes in northwestern Nigeria would be something entirely different and unprecedented. This would raise serious questions about sovereignty, the legal framework for such operations, and what agreements may exist between the two governments that the public is not aware of. Until official sources confirm or deny this aspect, we are operating in the realm of speculation. Searching through available information today, the story appears to have originated from social media posts that went viral overnight and into this morning. Various accounts are sharing the news, some with apparent insider knowledge, others simply amplifying what they have heard. The Nigerian online space is notorious for rumors spreading faster than official information, and this case appears to be no different. What is notable is that despite the widespread circulation of these claims, no credible news outlet has been able to independently verify the information, and government sources have remained silent. If you are enjoying this update and want to make sure you never miss breaking news like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now so you can stay informed as this story develops and we get official confirmation. The silence from official quarters is interesting in itself. Sometimes, military operations require time before public announcements are made to ensure all intelligence is gathered and security considerations are addressed. Other times, silence simply means there is nothing to announce. The challenge for communities in the affected areas is that they have had promises before, seen operations launched with great fanfare, only for the situation to return to normal shortly after. They want to believe this news is true, but they have learned to temper their expectations. What would Turji's elimination actually mean for security in the northwest? In the short term, it could create confusion and power struggles within bandit networks. Leadership vacuums can lead to infighting as lieutenants compete for control. This might temporarily reduce coordinated attacks. However, history shows us that these criminal enterprises can be resilient. New leaders emerge, groups splinter and regroup, and unless the underlying conditions that enable banditry are addressed, the cycle continues. The region needs comprehensive solutions that combine security operations with economic development, conflict resolution between herders and farmers, and effective governance that reaches rural communities. The reaction online today has been telling. Many people from the Northwest are expressing cautious hope, sharing prayers of thanksgiving, while also saying they will believe it when they see official confirmation. Others are sharing stories of personal losses, families destroyed by kidnappings, villages burned, and livelihoods stolen. For these people, Turji represents pure evil, and his death would feel like justice finally served. However, there is a current of skepticism running through the conversations, with people remembering previous false reports and warning others not to celebrate prematurely. The international angle cannot be ignored. If US forces were indeed involved, this would open up important conversations about what kind of foreign military presence or operations Nigeria has authorized on its territory. Some Nigerians would welcome any effective help in dealing with the security crisis, arguing that sovereignty means little if citizens cannot live safely in their own country. Others would raise concerns about the precedent this set and what it means for Nigeria's independence and military capability. These are legitimate debates that should happen openly if the reports turn out to be accurate. As we wait for official word from authorities, it is important to remember what is at stake here. We are talking about real communities who have been pushed to the brink, families who have buried loved ones killed in attacks, parents who have sold everything to pay ransoms for kidnapped children, farmers who have watched their life's work destroyed. These are the people whose lives hang in the balance while we wait for confirmation of whether one of their chief tormentors has finally been stopped.